got about 400 feet, give or take a little bit here on an existing property. We have, you know, we're dealing with sprinklers. We got a sprinkler head on the outside right there, so we went in. But the sprinklers are, you can see they're in. All the existing edging, we don't do anything with. That is not our responsibility. Homeowners know that. We go outside, see we're outside all the sprinkler heads here. They will shoot over the curb, that's not an issue. Creating new lines. This house has been here for quite a while. Everything's overgrown a little bit here. We're down in Marina Bay here, next to the Missouri River, so pretty cool. Windy, kind of cold for an August day, but we're just kind of creating some new lines here. They had straight edging along there, but you can see the plants overgrew everything, so we put a nice couple waves in there. We're going around the other side of the house, and then we got a little bit of a challenge down here by the water, where we're at a down angle, high sides on the down angle, so we'll be coming this way a little bit. You know, you just got to run the machine a little different way to make sure that you get that backside compacted. But pretty cool property here. I wish it was about 80 degrees, would feel a lot nicer. But this is going to be what's called African driftwood. It's kind of a dark brown to match some of their tones here. So it's just a straight color, slant style curb. Should be easy, about 400 feet. And there's the big guy. Justin Davis training number 742.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. The tree's kind of weird here. It's like really close, but they don't want to go around it because the property line is really close, so we're just leaving the tree. We're going kind of in between it. So they're going to have to trim around there, but that's just kind of the way it goes because it's so close to the property line. Got to be kind of wary on a house that's been existing for about 20 years here. Everything around the house is settled, so it's sometimes hard to see drainage. You've got a downspout right here that's going to go into the rocks. Before, most of that's probably drained right over the top of the, drained over the plastic edging, so it probably hasn't been that much of an issue. But we're going to have to look at spots on where we're going to have to put drainage, and then let the customer know that, you know, you should probably put a extension on that and run that water from the roof outside the curb, because the curb's obviously much higher than that plastic edging, and so as far as drainage, it's going to be an issue. We're going to have to put a drain here. We'll cut one in. We'll probably put a couple here to make sure all that exits. It's got a downspout over here that will stretch across the curb, so that shouldn't be an issue as long as they have it down. But that's one thing to look at with an existing house. Everything is settled. There's a lot of rock in here. You don't know where those low spots are. So when in doubt, put more of them in, protect yourself. Now with the skids on here, you know, with the skids on the undercarriage, you'll be able to ride that a lot lower on the ground, and you can really see there's hardly any slag. There won't be anything to pick up here. There's nothing to clean up. But I can ride it a lot lower on the ground, and it slides along the ground a lot easier. So there's really no slag to pick up there. You know, on the backside, a little bit higher coming around that curve over there, maybe a little bit, but the backside is going to be covered up by rock. So as far as cleanup, the only cleanup that we do a lot of is if Robert gets excited when he's throwing and he spills some in the grass. But for the most part, this whole line right here really isn't anything to clean up. You see how low I'm getting right there? And those skids allow it to slide right across the ground, so that's one good thing about running that machine. You're able to get good lines. It's right where the grass needs to be. You can see where it's putting the drains. We're trying to figure out where those are going to settle. When in doubt, put them on.
Maybe he doesn't like me. He said he'd rather work. Top side, I always dig in. Like bring that.
It's hard to see the angle here. Everything goes down towards the water. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm running the low side of the edge, you know, fairly close. I'm keeping an eye on this edge because if I get too low here, it's going to want to blow out that way. I'm going to have more waste on the backside because I'm trying to keep it higher, trying to keep the curb level so the curb isn't leaning over with the hill. Okay, so my crossbar is straight, parallel into the you know, into the hill here, and so I got my tire there cranked up higher than that just to keep it level. Okay, but I'm, you know, my eye is on the front side of that curb just to make sure I'm not digging, and I'm not worried so much about how much I'm leaving on the back side. Things to do here. You got to maintain your line, obviously, so it's smooth and flowing. I got to maintain my level. Okay, so I'm not digging in the front, and you know, I'm not concerned about the back, and I got to maintain pressure on the back side of this curb. That's why I got my body into the handle, because I'm trying to direct pressure down the high side of the curb, which is on the outside of this, which is a little bit more difficult. Going up and then back down, we got to do some hand packing, but a lot of things to look at to make sure your lines are good. You don't have that much waste. There's nothing in front of this whole curb to clean up. Zero slag, none.